I've been to many naturopaths and lost $7,000 seeking a helpful one. And this is exactly just what I'm talking about right here. Thank you. Now I'm broke and trying to figure out exactly. And she's trying to figure out how to heal her intestinal inflammation. You spent $7,000 from naturopaths and they couldn't help you heal your intestinal inflammation? Oh. Please, man, these guys need to throw in their towel and go drive a truck. I mean, give me a break, sweetheart. Ulcers and hypertension by myself. Now, that gives us a clue, doesn't it? Ulcers. She's ulcerating the gut. Now, could this be from a lack of bicarbonate in the pancreas, not neutralizing hydrochloric acid, and she's getting a hydrochloric acid ulceration? Or does she have interstitial lymphatic constipation? This is an important case because if you don't get that intestinal inflammation out, you're getting not only ulceration, but you can get intestinal cancer. So this is a move thy lymph. But most naturopaths are not taught about the lymph well nor the kidney connection to it. They're taught the traditional allopathic blood is everything. Get up on those fruits, berries, and melons. I'd be careful about anything that's abrasive to you. You could use the Heal All tea or Heal All capsules if it's too inflamed and you can't tolerate certain things. If you're moving your bowels once a day or twice a day, use stomach and bowel number 1. Nothing in it to move you. Real gentle on you, real healing on the mucosa there. At the same time, the Heal All capsules, very healing, drawing a little bit on the mucosa. You can use the Heal All capsules, you can use the Heal All tea, you can use fresh aloe, or we have aloe vera juice you can buy in here. Fresh aloe is good. Most people have aloe plants and really go after that. A little drying though of the wall, but still great anti-inflammatory material. You would never want to do proteins in this sort of diet or any dairy products like that. That'd be insanity. You definitely want to, and vegetables could be a little coarse on you. You can go right back to that fruits, berries, and melons again and super chew, just in case you have some pancreatic issues. Probably wouldn't hurt you to take the pancreatic capsules for about a month or so. So really start working. You want to see a lot of mucus in your stools. That's the one thing you want to see is mucus in your stools. Because now you know you're moving that. Duodenal ulcer. So you're either looking at a pancreatic problem where he's not producing enough bicarbonate and these proteins are burning him, or the hydrochloric acid is burning him, or it's interstitial lymphatic constipation, which is the worst one. Remember we talked about that. If it is the pancreas, first of all, stop all protein on an 84-year-old, and an 84-year-old should never have protein because they're too old to deal with it. The kidneys on these guys are down, prostates are down, all these things are down. They need to live on raw food. Healing ulcerations, again, a lot of these ulcerations can come from the inside out. Those are the worst kind because that's interstitial lymphatic constipation, burning from the interstitial areas to the outside. Those kind of burns take a lot longer to remedy because obviously you've got to move the lymph inside, dressing causative factors always. So moving lymph is essential to cure internal ulcerations where it's a burn from the inside. And again, those kind of burns lead to nothing good but cancer if you don't correct this, and this is again interstitial lymphatic constipation. If it's an ulcerated area from a burn like hydrochloric acid or something, those are much easier to heal up, and you can use like the Bones formula, which is the comfreys and the horsetails. Those are very healing. Slippery elm, very healing. You actually go to the root problem rather than symptoms, plus you understand the spiritual. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that, James. Do you have any suggestions for ulcers? Well, ulcers, of course, are caused from acids. So you can have ulcers from hydrochloric acid not being neutralized by the bicarbonate in the pancreas. So you would have to fix the pancreas, stay away from proteins, and not initiate hydrochloric acid as much. The other side of this is that some ulcers are the burn from lymph. So changing your diet to a raw food diet, working on the pancreas if you're having acid reflux, true acid reflux from low bicarbonate in the body. But again, a lot of ulcerations come from inside, you know, where you're burning interstitially from high acidosis. So either way, your body's too acidic. and you want to start moving into that base side and pulling more base chemistry into your body, cooling everything down, allowing healing to take place. Go into your adrenals, get your steroids up, get your neurotransmitters up, get the kidneys turned on, start filtering your lymph. All that acid will start coming out of the body. Comes out in the form of mucus, of course, as part of it. And so all this comes out, and then an ulceration will heal. If this is an ulceration of the stomach, there's so many things you can take. The Heal All Tea, the stomach and bowel formulas, aloe vera, just get a plant and take the leaves and just have you about 2 ounces of fresh aloe vera, or buy out a good quality aloe vera gel, things like that. So many things to heal ulcers. They're easy to heal up. Real easy. But you got to stay away from all proteins and stuff, James. You got to stay away from those because those initiate hydrochloric acid. When you got an acid, the potential to have an ulcer is there, or potential to have a cancer cell is there, if you don't stop that acid, if you don't keep that base balance. And so you just keep working on it. Just change your diet to at least a 70 to 80% raw. Fruits, berries, melons, maybe a salad a day, and then if you want some steamed or cooked vegetables and stuff, but you got to stay away from the tough foods, the nuts, the beans, the proteins, and let these ulcerated areas heal up. So you really want to handle that. Get on the bowel formulas. There's plenty of great herbs here. Get on the GI broom. Start opening this up. If your ulcers are bleeding, you can use the bleeding formula to stop the bleeding. And then just start healing. Use healing herbs. The bones formula, the Heal All Tea capsules, stomach and bowel capsules. We've got so many things that heals also. But remember, if this is all through the gut, it's probably interstitial burn. But you want to stay away from proteins anyway. But this is where you got to get into your lymph system and start getting it to filter. That's very important, and that'll all come out, my friend, and you'll be good to go. Very important to do this because of where this is going to take you if you're not careful. I've only been able to eat fruits and vegetables, and I'm very currently drinking a liter of cabbage juice a day, and it seems to be helping, but is there anything else I can do? Well, I would get rid of the cabbage juice, just because you run the risk of too much gas and stuff, and I would pound the aloe vera, the stomach and bowel formulas, number 1, if you're moving well. I would also use Heal All capsules or Heal All tea. I would get fresh aloe vera and cut those leaves, cut the mucusy stuff. Real strong healer. But remember, and what you're saying, my personal opinion is you're burning from the inside out. Very common stuff. That is going to do some work, meaning you got to get your kidneys filtering, and you see how your body won't accept anything else. You start doing protein, you're going to go, oh, that's not good. So I would shift and go into that into the herbs that heal and soothe. At the same time, you got to start thinking about the cause of this problem, the lymphatic system, and start moving that, getting that filter through your kidneys, and then all those acids will come out, the ulcerations will heal, and you'll be good. And I mean, this is a good kind of good, because it'll last you probably a lifetime. Right now, you're at a high risk for problems. So you want to take care of that, my friend. I was recently told I have a stomach ulcer, seen even on an endoscopy. I have been going through stomach discomfort, major bloating, belching, and a white coating on my tongue that fits a description of a yeast candida overgrowth. About 2 years ago, I took a round of antibiotics for a misdiagnosed sinus infection. Is there anything I can take or test to see if I have gut dysbiosis or yeast overgrowth? Any insight would be helpful. Thanks. You don't even need to do that, Carl. Don't even waste your time or money thinking about that. And that's another thing. Don't waste your time and money on that. Detoxify yourself. It clears everything out. Well, I'll say this. You know, I would get the stomach tea, Carl, or the Heal All tea and start sipping on it through the day. Move your diet to a raw food diet if you can. If you can't completely do the steamed vegetables, stay away from proteins, dairy products, and everything else. That white coating on your tongue just shows that you have a lot of mucus in your bowel wall, meaning you probably have some malabsorption. Now, this ulcer could be coming from in the wall. And that's kind of what this is alluding to. That's the most dangerous part of this. Ulcers can come from several sources, of course. If you, let's say that you had a pancreatic weakness, and there is some thought to that because you're belching. When you eat a particular food and you get gas and belching, that's incomplete digestion. That's either fermentation if it's vegetables and fruits, or your carbohydrates, or it's putrefaction when it's your proteins. And Now, both of those, when it's fermentation, that's when fungus has to be involved. You have to have this, because if not, you get too acidic. I mean, way out there. So you have to have the interaction of the microbes to deal with the excess carbon that you're consuming if you're doing starches. The same thing with proteins and nitrogen. You have to have the bacterium there for those.